me ask you something. Are you truly ready to win? Not just in a casual, half-hearted way, but in a way that leaves no room for doubt. Because the moment you decide, really decide, that winning is your only option, you've already fought half the battle. But understand this, I'm not talking about some weak, shaky decision that crumbles the second things get hard. I'm talking about a commitment so deep, so unshakable, that it fuels you even when the world is throwing everything against you. Winning isn't for those who hesitate. It's not for the ones who retreat at the first sign of resistance. It's for the relentless. The ones who wear their setbacks like armor and march through obstacles like they were put there just to be conquered. Make no mistake, this journey will test you. There will be days when you give everything you've got and still don't see the results you want. Moments when exhaustion creeps in, when doubt whispers that maybe this isn't for you. But hear me loud and clear. Those moments, those are the defining ones. Because when you push past that breaking point, when you refuse to surrender, that's when you evolve into the person who cannot be stopped. Anyone can say they want to win. Anyone can dream of success, but few are willing to make winning non-negotiable. If you want to be one of the few, it starts right now with a decision so powerful, so absolute, that failure is no longer an option. So why do most people fall short? Why do so many quit the second things get tough? Fear. Fear of failing, fear of disappointment, fear of discovering what they're really made of. But you're not most people. You weren't born to blend in with the crowd. You weren't meant to settle for mediocrity. You're here to rise, to become the person who stands firm when others crumble. The person who pushes forward when everything inside screams to turn back, because that's what it takes. Winning demands that you step beyond comfort, beyond hesitation, and into a mindset where every challenge is just another chance to prove you are unstoppable. When you declare, I'm going to win, you are making a promise to yourself. A promise that no matter what, you will show up every single day. No excuses, no waiting for the right time, no hoping for things to get easier. The right time is now. The moment is now. And if you're thinking, but I don't have the resources, I don't know the way forward, let me remind you, neither did anyone who started with nothing and built something legendary. They didn't wait for all the answers. They didn't sit around waiting for permission. They acted, they learned, they adapted, and because they refused to stop, they won. So today, step into that same energy. Plant your feet, lift your head, and say it, I'm going to win. Let that fire burn inside you. Let it fuel every move you make. Let it drive you through every storm, every setback, every obstacle. Because victory isn't reserved for the lucky. It belongs to those who refuse to accept anything less. Make that decision. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Say it, feel it, own it. I'm going to win, I'm going to do whatever it takes, and nothing is going to stop me. Because the moment you believe it with every fiber of your being, you've already started winning. Now go out there and prove it. Winning isn't just about skill, luck, or talent. It starts with an unshakable belief. The ability to say with absolute certainty, I am going to win, and mean it with every fiber of your being. It's not a half-hearted wish, not a hopeful maybe. It's a declaration, a commitment, so strong that there's no room for doubt, no backup plan, no escape route, where you settle for less than what you deserve. Because when winning becomes non-negotiable, everything changes. Your mindset sharpens, your focus intensifies, and your actions align with your purpose. Distractions lose their power over you because your eyes are locked on the finish line. Excuses fade into irrelevance because you know every obstacle is just another test of how badly you want it. The moment you make the decision to win, truly and completely, you create a force so strong that hesitation, fear, and self-doubt no longer have a seat at your table. Most people never experience this level of conviction. They keep one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake, cautiously moving forward while secretly entertaining the idea of failure. They allow uncertainty to whisper in the back of their minds, keeping them from fully committing. But when you decide, really decide, there's no maybe, no we'll see how it goes. That and what's left is a mindset fueled by purpose, locked in on one outcome, unwilling to accept anything less than victory. This is where everything shifts. Because when winning is non-negotiable, you don't allow mental chatter to pull you off course. You don't let doubt creep in and convince you to quit when the journey gets uncomfortable. You don't accept good enough as the final destination. Instead, you push, you fight, you rise above every challenge because your mind is already made up. Failure is simply not an option. Think about any major achievement in history. Any person who has risen to greatness. There was always a moment when it looked impossible, when the odds were stacked against them. And at that moment, most people would have quit. But those who refused, those who dug deep, who embraced the struggle, who made winning their only option, those are the ones who broke through. That is the difference. Conviction is the line that separates those who win from those who settle. If you have it, setbacks don't discourage you, they reinforce your commitment. Each failure doesn't feel like the end, it feels like a stepping stone. Every obstacle stops being a roadblock and instead becomes a lesson, a tool that sharpens your skills, a test that strengthens your resilience. When you decide without question that you are going to win, something else happens. You develop a level of grit and resilience that most people will never understand. Because now you're not just fighting to avoid failure, you are fighting for something greater. Deep inside, you refuse to accept anything other than the outcome you've chosen. That kind of resilience is rare. It's what keeps you going when the road is long, when the sacrifices feel overwhelming, when the late nights blur into early mornings and progress feels painfully slow. But the difference between those who make it and those who don't is simple. Winners keep moving forward no matter how hard it gets. They don't stop. They don't break. Because they have already decided, long before the hardships arrived, that nothing would shake them. Making winning non-negotiable also frees you from the noise of the world, the doubts, the opinions, the limitations others try to place on you. When you are truly committed, you don't need validation, you don't need permission, you don't care if people doubt you because you're no longer looking for external approval. You are so locked in, so committed, that their fears and insecurities have no effect on you. The weight of their disbelief bounces off you like it was never there in the first place. That kind of clarity, that kind of self-assuredness, it's a superpower. Because the moment you stop seeking permission is the moment you take control of your destiny. And that level of commitment, where you are all in, no hesitations, no waiting for the perfect moment, leads to bold, decisive action. Winners don't sit back and wait for things to fall into place. They don't waste time waiting for conditions to be perfect. They move, they act, they take control. They understand that hesitation is just another form of self-sabotage, another way fear tries to keep you playing small, and they refuse to let that happen. They understand that time is the most valuable resource they have, and every second wasted is a second stolen from their dreams. So they move with urgency. They attack their goals. They don't wait for doors to open. They build their own. With conviction comes clarity. Decisions that once seemed difficult become simple because they are aligned with your purpose. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop wasting energy on anything that doesn't move you forward. You don't entertain distractions because anything that doesn't serve your goal is irrelevant. This clarity extends beyond your actions. It seeps into your belief system. When you commit to winning, you stop questioning whether you have what it takes. You stop doubting your ability. You stop allowing fear to dictate your choices. Because you already know you have everything you need within you. And on the days when motivation is low, when progress feels slow, that belief in yourself will carry you through. Because you don't just hope you'll succeed, you know you will. And as this conviction grows, something even more powerful happens. you begin to shift your identity. You no longer see yourself as someone trying to win. You become a winner. It's not just something you do, it's who you are. You don't back down, you don't quit, you don't settle for anything less than what you've committed to. And when that identity shift happens, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that can stop you. Because at that point, you've already won. It's only a matter of time before the world catches up. The way you show up in the world, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way you handle challenges. Everything is influenced by your mindset. And one of the greatest shifts you can make is learning to see adversity not as an enemy, but as fuel. Because the truth is, life will test you. You will face obstacles, setbacks, moments where everything feels like it's working against you. But it's not about what happens to you, it's about how you respond. The strongest, most resilient people aren't the ones who have had it easy. They are the ones who have been knocked down, broken, and stretched beyond their limits, and still found a way to rise. The ones who didn't run from hardship, but embraced it, used it, turned it into something greater. That is the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. Those who break through and those who stay stuck. Because when you shift your perspective and stop seeing adversity as a reason to quit, but as proof that you're being forged into something stronger, that is when everything changes. Most people live their lives avoiding difficulty. They fear the struggle, they fear failure, they fear discomfort. But what they don't realize is that every challenge holds a lesson, a tool, a gift that will make them stronger. Every setback is an opportunity to refine your skills, to develop mental toughness, to sharpen your edge. When you embrace adversity, you stop being controlled by the highs and lows of life. Instead, you take control of your response. You don't crumble under pressure, you adapt, you learn, you grow. Every failure becomes a stepping stone. Every rejection, a redirection. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And instead ask, how can I use this? That shift in thinking is the difference between being defeated by life and mastering it. But here's the truth. This mindset doesn't come naturally. It takes training, it takes intention, it takes a relentless commitment to seeing every hardship as fuel for something greater. Most people panic when things don't go as planned. They get discouraged when progress is slow. But if you want to be someone who wins, you have to develop the ability to stay calm under pressure, to think clearly in chaos, to find opportunity where others see failure. You have to train yourself to stop seeing difficulty as a signal to stop and start seeing it as proof that you're on the right path. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Strength isn't built in ease. Every time you push past your limits, every time you refuse to break, you are developing an unshakable resilience that will serve you for the rest of your life. Think about it. Every breakthrough, every major achievement, every success story you've ever heard started with adversity. No one reaches the top without being tested. No one becomes great without first being broken, challenged, and forced to rise above it. When you face hardship, you are being given an opportunity to rise above the average, to prove to yourself that you are more capable than you ever imagined, that you can handle more, endure more, push further than you thought possible. That's where confidence is built. Not in easy victories, but in the battles that force you to grow. And as you embrace adversity, something powerful happens. You develop a level of mental strength that most people will never reach. Because while they are looking for an escape, you are looking for a way forward. While they are breaking under pressure, you are becoming unbreakable. Every challenge builds resilience. Every failure strengthens your foundation. And over time, you become someone who cannot be stopped. Someone who doesn't need things to be easy because they know they have the power to overcome anything. That kind of strength, that kind of confidence, it doesn't just change how you handle setbacks, it changes how you show up in every area of your life. It changes how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you lead. Because when you know deep down that you can handle anything life throws at you, there is nothing left to fear. And that's the real secret. Fear loses its grip when you embrace adversity. Fear thrives in uncertainty. It thrives in hesitation, in doubt, in weakness. But when you've been tested and proven yourself, when you've been through the fire and come out stronger, fear has no power over you because you've already faced it. You've already fought through it. You've already learned that even at your lowest, you still have what it takes to rise. That's why the people who achieve the greatest success in life aren't the ones who avoid failure. They are the ones who have failed over and over and still refuse to give up. They are the ones who understand that setbacks are part of the journey, that adversity is not the enemy, it's the teacher. And when you start seeing adversity as a gift, you begin to appreciate it. You stop resisting it, you stop dreading it, you welcome it. Because you know, it's making you stronger. It's shaping you into the person you were meant to be. It's preparing you for something bigger. Every challenge, every obstacle, every moment of struggle, it's all part of the process. The question is, will you let it break you, or will you use it to build something unstoppable? You start to see adversity not as an obstacle, but as a necessary part of the process. A teacher that shows up in your life to help you grow. Gratitude for adversity doesn't mean you enjoy the hard times, but it does mean you recognize their value. You begin to understand that each challenge is molding you, shaping you, preparing you for greater success. This perspective shift allows you to face difficulties with a sense of acceptance, knowing that no experience, good or bad, is ever wasted. Everything you go through is contributing to your journey, refining your character, and forging you into the person you're meant to become. Last night, as we went to, and something powerful happens when you embrace adversity as fuel for growth. You develop empathy. You start to recognize that struggle isn't unique to you. Everyone is fighting their own battles, facing their own hardships. And because you've been through challenges yourself, you gain a deeper understanding of what others are going through. It makes you more compassionate, more patient, more willing to support others on their own journeys. This empathy strengthens your relationships, deepens your connections, and allows you to uplift those around you. Adversity has a way of stripping away illusions and revealing what truly matters. It teaches you that the greatest strength isn't found in avoiding struggle, but in overcoming it together. But beyond empathy, adversity builds something even more critical: courage. Every time you face a challenge head on, you are proving to yourself that you are capable, that you are strong, that you don't need to run from discomfort. Each battle you fight strengthens the courage muscle, making it easier to step outside your comfort zone, take risks, and pursue your goals with everything you have. Over time, this courage becomes part of who you are. It allows you to make bold moves, to take action despite uncertainty, to trust that no matter what happens, you'll find a way forward. This is what separates those who chase their dreams from those who let fear keep them trapped in hesitation. The ones who win in life aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who had the courage to act, even when they were scared. And if there's one thing adversity forces you to learn, it's this: you are not in control of everything. No matter how much you plan, no matter how hard you try, life will throw you curveballs. Things will go wrong, people will disappoint you, unexpected challenges will arise. But when you embrace adversity instead of resisting it, you develop a powerful skill, the ability to let go of what you can't control and focus on what you can. You stop wasting energy fighting reality and start using it to adapt, to learn, to find new solutions. You become more flexible, more resilient, more capable of navigating anything that comes your way. Instead of fearing change, you embrace it. Instead of clinging to certainty, you learn to thrive in uncertainty. And in doing so, you unlock a level of freedom that most people never experience, the freedom to move forward no matter the circumstances. And that brings us to one of the most transformative shifts you can make in life, the decision to take action now, Not tomorrow, not when things feel right, not when conditions are perfect, now, because the biggest lie we tell ourselves is that we need to wait. That someday the timing will be ideal, that the path will be clear, that we'll feel completely ready, but that's an illusion. The truth, the perfect moment doesn't exist, and waiting for it is nothing more than procrastination disguised as planning. Every day you hesitate is a day lost. Every moment you delay is momentum slipping away. Committing to action is about valuing progress over perfection. So many people never even start because they're waiting for the stars to align. The perfect plan, the perfect resources, the perfect confidence. But in reality, waiting for everything to be perfect is just fear in disguise. Perfection is the enemy of progress. The only way forward is to embrace imperfection, to start even when it feels messy, to take the first step without knowing all the answers. Because clarity doesn't come from waiting, it comes from doing. The path reveals itself as you walk it. The confidence comes from the action, not before it. And every small move you make, no matter how uncertain, pushes you closer to where you want to be. Taking action also means stepping into courage. Fear is the biggest roadblock to success, not because it's real, but because most people let it stop them. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. But courage isn't about being fearless, it's about taking action despite the fear. It's about refusing to let hesitation win. The people who achieve great things in life aren't the ones who never felt afraid. They're the ones who felt the fear and moved forward anyway. They trusted themselves enough to figure it out as they went. They refused to let fear paralyze them. And because of that, they grew stronger, bolder, more unstoppable. And the truth is, action is the greatest teacher. You can sit on the sidelines and think about what you want to do, analyze every possibility, plan every step, but nothing compares to the lessons you learn from actually doing. Mistakes aren't something to fear, they are part of the process. Every misstep teaches you something. Every failure sharpens your approach. Every setback adds to your wisdom. When you stop waiting and start doing, you stop being afraid of failure, because you realize it's not the opposite of success, it's part of it. You stop hesitating because you know that hesitation kills momentum, and momentum is everything. Think about it like pushing a heavy car. At first, it takes a massive effort just to get it moving. But once it starts rolling, it becomes easier. That's how progress works. The hardest part is starting. But once you build momentum, everything changes. Small actions compound. Confidence builds. And before you know it, you're making strides that once seemed impossible. So stop waiting. Stop second guessing. Stop letting fear dictate your future. The path to success isn't found in hesitation. It's found in relentless action. The willingness to move forward, to make mistakes, to learn as you go. The ones who make it aren't the ones who had everything figured out before they started. They're the ones who started before they had everything figured out. And that's what you have to do right now, because there is no perfect time. There is only now. And the only question that matters is this: are you going to wait? Or are you going to take the first step and start building the life you were meant to live? Learning isn't just about acquiring knowledge. It's about embracing a mindset where every challenge, every setback, every experience becomes an opportunity to grow. It's about seeing obstacles not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. It's about understanding that adaptation isn't just a skill, it's a necessity. When you commit to relentless learning, you stop fearing failure. You stop seeing mistakes as proof that you're not good enough and start recognizing them as essential lessons. Every time something doesn't go as planned, you gain insight. Every time you struggle, you develop resilience. And with each experience, you refine your approach, becoming sharper, wiser, and more prepared for whatever comes next. Adaptability is the secret weapon of those who thrive. The world is constantly changing, and those who refuse to evolve get left behind. But when you embrace adaptation as a way of life, you become unstoppable. You don't resist change, you leverage it. You don't fear uncertainty, you use it to your advantage. Instead of waiting for things to be predictable, you learn to navigate the unpredictable. And in doing so, you position yourself for success in ways that others never will. The key to adaptation is action. You can't just think about what you need to do. You have to do it. You have to be willing to step into the unknown, to take risks, to experiment. Some things will work, others won't. But every step forward, every attempt, every effort moves you closer to mastery. The people who succeed at the highest level aren't the ones who waited for certainty. They're the ones who created clarity through action. And here's the truth. Growth isn't comfortable. It's not easy. It requires you to push past resistance, to keep going even when you feel like giving up, to trust that every struggle is shaping you into something greater. It's about being willing to fail, to fall, to get knocked down, because you know that each time you rise stronger. Committing to relentless learning and adaptation means never settling. It means constantly seeking ways to improve, refine, and evolve. It means being humble enough to know you don't have all the answers and confident enough to keep searching for them. It means embracing the process, knowing that real success isn't about reaching a final destination. It's about the journey of constant growth. So take action. Stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop overthinking. The perfect moment will never come. The conditions will never be ideal. And the path forward will never be completely clear, but that's the beauty of it. Because when you step forward despite the uncertainty, when you take action despite the fear, you don't just make progress, you become the kind of person who creates their own opportunities. Life doesn't wait, neither should you. What if the key to success wasn't talent, luck, or even hard work, but your ability to keep learning, adapting, and evolving? Some people stop growing the moment they reach a goal. They get comfortable, they settle. But those who achieve greatness, those who continue to rise, even when others plateau, understand that learning is not a phase. It's a lifestyle. Relentless learning is a lifelong commitment to growth, a mindset that transforms every challenge, every setback, and every success into fuel for your evolution. It's not just about acquiring knowledge. It's about developing the curiosity, adaptability, and resilience to navigate an ever-changing world. It's about becoming the kind of person who thrives no matter what life throws your way. Curiosity is what keeps you sharp, engaged, and constantly expanding your horizons. It's what pushes you to ask deeper questions, to explore beyond the obvious, to challenge your own beliefs and assumptions. It turns every situation into an opportunity to grow, because instead of seeing things at face value, you dig deeper. You uncover the why, the how, the hidden lessons beneath the surface. When you embrace curiosity, you stop seeing the world as something fixed and start seeing it as a playground of endless possibilities. You realize that every person you meet, every challenge you face, and every failure you encounter has something to teach you if you're willing to listen. One of the greatest obstacles to growth is clinging to outdated knowledge, habits, and beliefs simply because they feel familiar. But the truth is, the world is evolving fast. And if you refuse to evolve with it, you get left behind. To be a relentless learner, you must be willing to unlearn, relearn, and challenge your own perspectives. You have to let go of the need to be right and embrace the idea that growth requires change. The most successful people in any field are not the ones who resist new information, but the ones who are constantly adapting, updating their knowledge, and refining their approach. Humility is key. The moment you believe you've learned everything, you've already lost. The moment you think you have all the answers, you stop looking for better ones. True mastery isn't about reaching a final destination. It's about remaining a student of life. What happens when things don't go as planned, when you fail, when the road gets harder than you expected? Most people give up, retreat, or let failure define them. But relentless learners see failure differently. They don't see setbacks as the end of the road. They see them as part of the process. Resilience is what allows you to turn obstacles into stepping stones, failures into feedback, and difficulties into the very experiences that make you stronger. When you commit to relentless learning, You understand that growth is not a straight line. It's a winding road filled with detours, unexpected turns, and hard lessons. But here's the difference. While others get discouraged, you get better. While others stop trying, you adapt. While others let their failures define them, you let them refine you. Relentless learning isn't just about accumulating knowledge, it's about knowing yourself deeply enough to apply that knowledge in a way that actually moves you forward. Self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth. If you don't understand your own strengths, weaknesses, and blind spots, you'll waste time learning things that don't matter, chasing goals that don't fulfill you, and repeating mistakes that could have been avoided. When you cultivate self-awareness, you recognize patterns in your behavior that hold you back, pinpoint the skills and habits that will make the biggest impact on your growth, and course correct quickly when you're heading in the wrong direction. Without self-awareness, learning is like running on a treadmill. You're moving, but not necessarily going anywhere. But with self-awareness, every lesson you learn is intentional, every effort you make is strategic, and every step you take is leading you somewhere meaningful. You will only grow as much as the people around you challenge and inspire you to grow. If you spend time with people who are comfortable staying the same, who resist change, and who settle for mediocrity, you will be influenced by that energy. But if you surround yourself with people who are constantly learning, evolving, and pushing themselves to be better, you'll rise to meet their level. The people in your life should challenge your thinking, introduce you to new ideas and perspectives, hold you accountable for your growth, and inspire you to aim higher. Growth is rarely achieved in isolation. Find mentors, seek out ambitious peers, engage in conversations that stretch your thinking. The more you immerse yourself in an environment that fosters learning, the faster you'll grow. Learning doesn't happen by accident. It requires a proactive approach. You must seek it out. It's not enough to passively wait for life to teach you lessons. If you want to be a relentless learner, you have to read books that challenge your thinking, take courses that push you beyond your comfort zone, find mentors who can accelerate your learning curve, and immerse yourself in experiences that force you to grow. The greatest minds in history, from Leonardo da Vinci to Elon Musk, share one trait. They never stop learning. They don't rely on their past knowledge. They aggressively seek out new information, test new ideas, and expand their understanding every single day. Change is inevitable, but growth, that's a choice. The world is shifting at a rapid pace. Industries evolve, technology advances, opportunities come and go. And the people who thrive are the ones who don't resist change, they adapt to it, embrace it, and use it to their advantage. Adaptability means letting go of outdated methods and finding new approaches, being open to learning from unexpected sources, and shifting your mindset when circumstances demand it. The truth is, success belongs to those who can pivot, adjust, and keep moving forward even when the path looks different than they expected. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know exactly where you're going. You just have to be willing to keep learning. The people who achieve greatness aren't the ones who have it all figured out from the start. They're the ones who refuse to stop evolving. So stay curious, stay adaptable, stay relentless. Because the moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. And if you're not growing, you're standing still. Life will test you. It will throw obstacles in your path, challenge your patience, and push you to the edge of your limits. But the difference between those who crumble and those who rise isn't talent, luck, or intelligence. It's mindset. An unbreakable mindset is what allows you to stand firm in the face of adversity, to keep pushing forward when everything inside you wants to quit, and to turn setbacks into stepping stones. It's not about avoiding struggle. It's about being strong enough to endure it, smart enough to learn from it, and relentless enough to keep going no matter what. True mental toughness starts with self-belief. The kind of belief that isn't dependent on circumstances, outcomes, or external validation. It's not about feeling confident only when things are going well. It's about knowing deep in your core that no matter what happens, you have what it takes to overcome it. This level of belief doesn't appear overnight. It's built through experience, through proving to yourself again and again that you can handle the storms life throws your way. Every time you push through a difficult situation, every time you refuse to let fear dictate your actions, every time you rise after falling, you strengthen that belief. It becomes an unshakable foundation that no setback, no criticism, and no failure can break. Mental toughness isn't just about enduring hardship. It's about training yourself to keep moving forward, even when the road is uncertain. It's about discipline, the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Most people wait for motivation. They wait until they feel inspired, until the timing is perfect, until circumstances are just right. But those with an unbreakable mindset understand that waiting is a trap. They act despite discomfort, despite doubt, despite fear. They don't rely on fleeting emotions to determine their actions. They rely on commitment. Every time you push through resistance, every time you take action when it's easier to do nothing, you're strengthening your mental toughness. You're proving to yourself that you are not controlled by weakness, that you have the discipline to do whatever it takes. Resilience is another pillar of an unbreakable mindset. Life is unpredictable. No matter how prepared you are, there will be setbacks. There will be failures. There will be moments that test your patience, your faith, and your endurance. But resilience is what allows you to keep going, even when the path ahead looks uncertain. It's the ability to bounce back, to adjust, to keep fighting, even when the odds seem stacked against you. Resilience turns obstacles into opportunities, failures into lessons, and setbacks into setups for comebacks. It's what keeps you from breaking under pressure and allows you to come back stronger every single time. When you embrace resilience, you stop fearing failure because you know that no failure is final unless you quit. Adaptability is another key to an unbreakable mindset. The world is constantly changing, and those who refuse to change with it will get left behind. Being adaptable means not being rigid in your thinking, your approach, or your expectations. It means being willing to pivot, to embrace new strategies, and to adjust your course when necessary. Too many people resist change because it feels uncomfortable. They cling to old habits, outdated beliefs, and familiar routines, even when those things are no longer serving them. But those with an unbreakable mindset understand that growth requires change. They don't fear the unknown, they embrace it. They see every new challenge as an opportunity to evolve, to sharpen their skills, and to gain an edge. Purpose is what gives your mindset direction. Without purpose, even the strongest mindset can drift. Purpose is what keeps you focused, what makes your struggles meaningful, and what gives you the motivation to keep pushing when things get tough. When you're clear on what you want, why you want it, and what you're willing to do to achieve it, your actions become intentional. You stop wasting energy on distractions. You stop second-guessing yourself. Every step you take, every effort you make is fueled by a deeper drive. Purpose turns hard work into passion, struggles into stepping stones, and discipline into devotion. It's the fire that keeps you moving forward, even on the days when you feel like giving up. Confidence grows from knowledge, from experience, and from proving to yourself that you are capable of growth. Every new skill you develop, every new challenge you overcome, every new risk you take expands your confidence. And when you have confidence, you move differently. You take bigger risks. You step outside your comfort zone. You pursue your goals with conviction. Confidence isn't about arrogance. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, you have the ability to figure things out. It's about trusting yourself, backing yourself, and showing up for yourself every single day. The truth is, the world will never stop testing you. There will always be obstacles. There will always be moments of doubt. There will always be reasons to quit. But an unbreakable mindset means refusing to let anything, not failure, not fear, not temporary discomfort, stop you from becoming the person you were meant to be. It means choosing discipline over excuses, resilience over defeat, and self-belief over doubt. It means refusing to settle for anything less than your full potential. And once you develop this mindset, nothing, no setback, no challenge, no hardship will ever be able to break you. An unbreakable mindset is forged through resilience, focus, perseverance, optimism, and self-discipline. It is the foundation that allows you to rise above obstacles, push through adversity, and stay locked in on your goals no matter what life throws your way. Resilience becomes an unshakable force within you, giving you the ability to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear or filled with setbacks. It allows you to endure the storms of life without breaking, to see failures not as final but as stepping stones toward growth. Every challenge you face and overcome strengthens this resilience, making you more prepared for whatever comes next. Focus is another key pillar of an unbreakable mindset. In a world full of distractions, staying committed to what truly matters is what separates those who succeed from those who falter. When you have laser sharp focus, you are not easily swayed by temporary setbacks or outside noise. You know what you want, and nothing can pull you away from your mission. This kind of focus requires discipline, the ability to prioritize long-term success over short-term comfort. It keeps you grounded, ensuring that every action you take is a step toward your ultimate goal. Even when things get difficult, focus allows you to block out the doubts, ignore the negativity, and stay aligned with your purpose. Perseverance is the driving force behind long-term success. It's easy to stay committed when things are going well, but true perseverance is about continuing to push forward when progress is slow, when the odds are against you, and when quitting feels like the easier option. It's the ability to persist despite obstacles, to keep grinding even when results aren't. Many people give up because they expect instant success, but those with an unbreakable mindset understand that real achievement takes time. They are willing to endure discomfort, setbacks, and struggles because they know that consistency beats intensity. Every time you refuse to quit, every time you push past your limits, you reinforce your perseverance, making you stronger, more determined, and more unstoppable than ever before. Optimism fuels resilience and perseverance by shifting your perspective in the face of adversity. It's not about ignoring difficulties or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about choosing to see possibilities where others see limitations. Optimism allows you to believe in solutions, to see the silver lining in setbacks, and to trust that every challenge holds an opportunity for growth. When you train yourself to approach life with a positive outlook, you become immune to negativity. You stop dwelling on what's going wrong and start focusing on what you can do to move forward. This mindset keeps you motivated, keeps you pushing, and keeps you striving for success, no matter how tough the journey gets. Self-discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. It's the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline keeps you consistent. It ensures that your habits and routines align with your ambitions. While most people let their emotions dictate their actions, those with an unbreakable mindset operate differently. They don't wait for the perfect conditions to take action. They act despite resistance, despite discomfort, despite fear. This level of discipline allows you to stay on track, to make the right choices, and to keep showing up even when things get hard. Every disciplined decision strengthens your mindset, reinforcing your ability to stay committed regardless of circumstances. A growth mindset is another essential component of an unbreakable mentality. It's the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and skills are not fixed. They can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. People with a growth mindset embrace challenges, knowing that struggle is a necessary part of progress. They welcome feedback, learn from mistakes, and see every failure as an opportunity to improve. This mindset allows you to constantly evolve, to push beyond your limits, and to reach levels of success that once seemed impossible. With a growth mindset, setbacks don't discourage you, they fuel you. You understand that mastery takes time, that greatness is earned, and that every obstacle is simply a stepping stone to becoming stronger. smarter, and more capable. Purpose is the final and most powerful ingredient of an unbreakable mindset. Without purpose, even the strongest mindset can drift. Purpose is what gives you direction, what fuels your drive, and what keeps you going even when the road is tough. When you are clear on why you're doing what you're doing, distractions lose their power over you. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop making excuses. You stop looking for shortcuts. Instead, you commit fully to your mission, knowing that every struggle, every sacrifice, and every ounce of effort is taking you closer to where you want to be. Purpose turns obstacles into challenges worth facing, pain into fuel for persistence, and discipline into devotion. It ensures that no matter how difficult the journey becomes, you never lose sight of the bigger picture. An unbreakable mindset isn't something you are born with, it's something you build day by day through your actions, your habits, and your choices. It's developed through every challenge you overcome, every failure you learn from, and every step you take toward your goals. It is forged in the fire of adversity, strengthened by struggle, and refined by persistence. Once you cultivate this mindset, nothing, no setback, no failure, no hardship will ever have the power to break you. You become unstoppable because no matter what happens, you will always find a way to rise.